Hi everyone, welcome to RAIM 301, Essentials of Imaging and Therapy. I'm Gina Sens, I'll be your instructor for the course, and I wanted to set up a quick video introduction not only to myself but to the course, just so that you can see how to do a video introduction. And it would be really nice if you would all take the time to do that so that we can get to know each other a little bit better in the beginning of the course. I will be having you do a project as the second large assignment that you have, and this format using Screencast-O-Matic is one way for you to be able to show your screen as well as yourself if you're doing a video recording. And it's really helpful for a presentation format, especially if you don't have somebody to run the camera behind the scenes for you. So I wanted to show you this so that you would be aware of one way to do this. And there are some other ways that I've mentioned in the assignment as you get closer to that. But just wanted to put that up front so that you're kind of aware of what I'm using for this particular introduction. I graduated from Bellevue College a really long time ago, before they had bachelor's degrees. So I graduated with an associate's degree in radiology, and then went ahead to pursue my certificates in CT, MRI, and mammo as well, and worked in the field for about 10 or 12 years before I moved on to other things. Geographic location took me far away, and while I worked in radiology for a little while out on the East Coast, then I moved on to some different opportunities. And then when I moved back to the Washington State area, I started working with some of the faculty again and began working as a CT and MRI clinical coordinator. So if you're planning a CT or MRI clinical, you and I will get to know each other better and work together to get you prepared for your clinical, and then also start teaching courses as an adjunct faculty. So I want to introduce you to the course so you're a little bit more familiar with how to navigate. If you've never taken a Canvas course before, you might want to take a little time to understand the navigation. So over here on the left-hand side, you'll have a toolbar of all the different things that will help you in this course. Anything from announcements, which will allow you to see what I've posted in the last few days in terms of assignments, or if there's any change in a assignment due date or that sort of thing, then you'd find that information there. If you want to get your notifications sent to you a little differently, you can go to your account page here and then go to notifications, and there'll be a page that comes up that shows you all different sorts of notifications and how to change them. So you can get your notifications sent to you right away, all of them, and sometimes when there's a large number of students in class, it ends up being a lot of notifications. Or you can get a daily summary or also a weekly summary. And then you can choose if you get them by email address or cell phone number or other options. So take a look at that page and see how your notifications might work better for you. And then if we go back to the main page, you'll see that you have assignments and discussions, modules. The very first discussion that I'll have you do is to post a little introduction, and if you could do a video introduction, that would be great. I think it helps us get to know one another a little bit better, and I think that's really helpful in an online environment when we never meet face-to-face. The modules page, I'm going to take you to that right now. There'll be a Let's Get Started module, and those items will be required before you can get to the other modules. So be sure to look through all of these and complete all of them. The LMC lesson is not hard, neither is the syllabus lesson. All of these can be retaken as many times as you need in order to get the full credit. But it's mostly just informational for you so that you are aware of what's required in this class and what the expectations are. There are no, let me rephrase that. I do not accept late assignments. If you are struggling for any reason, or if you have some emergency come up at home, please email me ahead of time as much as you can from the assignment due date and let me know, and it's possible that we can work out an extension. But other than that, if the assignment's late due to technical factors or anything else, there will be deductions and points, and that's covered in the syllabus. This is a very writing-intensive class. So if you're not familiar with writing, or if that's new to you, you want to take time to work ahead as much as you can to start writing your papers and working on your projects well ahead of time. We have a resource available to us, Jonathan Molinaro, and he is a great writing resource. I'm having you work with him for the personal statement so that you can just get familiar with him and get to know him. And then if you have any questions on projects in this class or in any other classes, if you're working toward the bachelor's degree, he is a wonderful person to go and speak with or to email back and forth with about your paper or project. So I hope that you enjoyed this class. It's usually fun to research different ideas, and I have posted a couple of examples of assignments that I really like. I think I have that in the home page here. And this projects that I've liked in the past that I thought students did a really good job on. So let's see if I have that. Yeah, the examples page right here at the bottom of that very first page. And there's a research paper as well as a video presentation that a student has done. And what I'm looking for in both assignments, in all of your assignments except for your personal statement, is for you to come up with a disease process or an injury perhaps, and using two modalities to take a look at that disease process or that injury. So for example, if I was going to study a brain tumor, I probably wouldn't just generally pick brain cancer because there are so many types of brain cancers. So I think I would pick like a glioblastoma multiforme, and then I would choose two modalities that work towards that to either image it or treat it. And I would tell you how that particular modality worked in relation to that particular disease process. So you don't really need to start from the very beginning as if we don't know anything about CT or MRI and tell us how they work. It's more important for me to find out if you know what type of scan in particular is done for a glioblastoma multiforme and how that scan might help them to image that particular brain tumor in order to better treat that patient. So that's more of what I'm looking for. Or if you have like perhaps you have a lesion in the lung, or maybe just any kind of idea that you can come up with to be able to image that or treat it with nuclear medicine, or image it with nuclear medicine or treat it with radiation therapy, then that's really important to show us how that process would work with that patient. Would they get nuclear medicine first, or would they get radiation therapy first, and why? I think that's more important than starting from the very basics of how the modality works, because we've all gone through the modality lessons. And then the other thing that I want you to be aware of is that it's also really important when you do these presentations that you try not to read your script. It's okay that you have one written out, and it's good to have bullet points to kind of remind you of what you wanted to talk about. But I've tried here not to use a script so that you can see what it's like when I talk off the cuff, and sometimes I have to pause it so that I can remember what word I want to use or what I was trying to tell you. But it's much more engaging when you talk to somebody as a friend or when you're trying to explain something to someone, rather than if you just read off the cuff. Then it sometimes gets a little bit hard for someone to follow, especially if you use a lot of technical terms. So try to keep those ideas in mind when you're doing your presentation and or your papers. And please enjoy the class. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Canvas email is the best because I have that forwarded to my main Bellevue College email, and it's the quickest way to get a hold of me. If Canvas email is down for any reason, I've also included my Bellevue College email address as well as a phone number. And please be sure that you leave me a message if you call me, because there's so many solicitors these days that I don't always know that the number is from a student or whether it's a solicitor. So please be sure to leave me a message. And we'll see you online in class. Thanks so much.